you have anything on Johnny?
No, he's not active today, and he's going to take BP again today, and we'll just take it day by day. And we got to make sure he's healthy. We got to make sure he responds well. And I have not had a chance to talk to Cash about it today, but he'll take BP again.
You obviously get him back any day now, starting today. So I mean,
yeah, hopefully the sooner the better. But the thing is, players always want to come back as soon as possible. But you got to make sure that a guy doesn't come back for one day and then it bothers him again, and then you're without him for another 2 weeks. So we got to make sure that he's completely healthy. And when I say completely healthy, I don't mean being able to play the outfield, but being able to do everything he needs to do offensively. Because he could slide and put his hand down, and it could jam it again. There's a lot of things that could take place. And so I would rather be cautious in a sense, maybe a day or two extra, opposed to losing him for another 2 weeks.
Joe, is he going to throw today?
I have not talked to Gino, but I can't tell you. I got to talk to Gino first.
So does your experience with Alex and Jorge earlier in the year, where they came back a little early, play into that thinking?
No, my experience with hurting a shoulder, maybe a little bit, but just my experience with players in general. Players always say that they're healthy. Because they want to be out there, and that's how you want them. They're tired of watching, and their competitive spirit takes over. But too many times, if you left it up to the players, they would come back early, and they would jeopardize, what you're trying to do.
Is Posada's hand worse than
I have not seen him yet today, so I got to talk to him, see how he is.
Is it looking like Posada's going to have to do more DHing than catching?
It's something we'll talk about. We like the way he threw the ball in Toronto. He threw the ball well in Toronto, and yesterday, I don't know how much of it had to do with his hand when he got hit in the hand the inning earlier, but it's something that we'll manage on a daily basis, and we want his arm to continue to improve, and it's just something that we need to deal with, and you do it day by day.
Does that, in fact, though, pose a problem for you in that if he has to be your DH, you got a lot of DHs on this team that...
Well, it is what it is. You just have to handle it as a manager, and obviously everyone wants to play, and you understand that, but the job as a manager is to put the best lineup on the field every day and try to win the game.
So you've known him a long time. How much do you think this year is draining on him?
Well, I'm sure it's been very difficult, because George is used to playing every day. I mean, here's a guy that averaged 140 games a year, and I know how much he loves to be out there and to play and help the club, and I know it's hard for him. All players eventually go through it, and it's not a lot of fun to go through it. But George is due to an injury, and obviously we hope to get him back 100% one day, but for right now, you just have to handle the situation, and you try to help him get through the situation.
So is there any thought to having him have surgery during the season?
That has not crossed my mind, no.
Joe, given all of this, would you guys at all start playing him at first base more often than you have?
As I said, we'll take it day by day and see how he's physically doing. You look at the parts that you have every day. Things change sometimes because of injuries, and you need people in different positions than they're used to playing, and then you just take it day by day.
Have you thought, even in the back of your mind, that there might come a point over the next month or so where you just say maybe it's better to just shut him down? Is that you thought even occurred to you?
No. Because I think Georgie, if he's not catching that day, can help you in a lot of ways. And that's the thing. So, obviously, when you're a catcher, you want to catch every day. But, he has an injury that he's had to deal with. But that doesn't mean that he can't help this club.
Does his shoulder affect his hitting at all?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, he has never said anything about his shoulder affecting his swing.
You would have had him. You weren't going to play him today, regardless of the hand.
Correct.
Did I guess Bruni pitched an inning last night for Scranton?
Yes.
How's that?
I'm still waiting for we get a couple different minor league reports. I get one that's just the box scores, but then I get one that's an evaluation from the coaches. That one comes later. I just got the box score. I know he pitched an inning, walked a guy, didn't give up a hit, but I'm waiting for the evaluation part.
How happy are you with what you've seen from him?
Love it. You can go back for the last month. He's been hitting very well, and even his outs yesterday were hard. He swung the bat obviously great the first 2 days coming off the break, but even the last month he swung the bat great, and he's hitting the way that we all expected. And sometimes expectations are dangerous, and as a player you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. But I just think he's playing to his capabilities. Sometimes a day off mentally can help a player, and you can slow things down. I think sometimes when you're struggling, you go up to the plate trying to get 2 or 3 hits in one at bat, and you get in a hurry to get a hit. And sometimes just a day off mentally can just slow it down for you and let you think about what you need to do to be successful, opposed to trying to make something up, to get your average where you want it to be.
This is the second straight year now he hasn't turned it on until the second half. Is there any explanation for this?
It's just some players are like that. Some players take longer to heat up. My thought was, jokingly, you brainwash him in April and make him think it's the second half.
Do you think the contract had anything to do with it this year?
No, I don't. Because it's very similar to what he went through last year.
Is a rehab assignment still a possibility for Johnny?
Yeah, it's something that we'll talk about, and we'll make an evaluation if we think he needs one. If he did need one, it'd be real short.
Wouldn't you like to see him get like 3 at-bats at Scranton, make sure everything's okay?
Yeah, you could do that, but I've seen a lot of players not necessarily go to a rehab, but if it was possible, we believe that we're gonna get back sometime this week. Thursday's an off day for us, so if he was to come back for the Boston series, something we could talk about. He could maybe do something on Thursday.
Joe, if you can head to Minnesota for a sec, another very good team that you're playing second half this month. What are your impressions of the Twins?
They play the game the right way. Their pitching is very good, and their timely hitting is outstanding. They have good speed. They play good defense. It's a pretty complete club, and they have a couple guys in the top of the order that can cause a lot of chaos. 2 guys in the middle, 3 guys in the middle that are run producers, on base guys. A couple all-stars hitting 3rd and 4th. So, it's a quality club.
So when they lose Santana and then they don't have Liriano for much of the season, on the surface you would say, how the heck are they doing it? How are they? How does a team absorb those losses and still continue to play at the level they're playing?
Well, their young pitching is very good. The guys that they've brought up, and we've faced some of them, Blackburn and Perkins, and they're very good. I believe we're going to see Blackburn tomorrow. He threw a nice game against us, and he was only knocked out because of the line drive. But they seem to funnel people through their system that know how to play the game and just do things right. And they have a very good bullpen. And, you have a closer down there that has been great for a long time, and sometimes he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves.
Joe, this might be a repeat, but when you look at Dukeshire's numbers, what stands out to you?
His ERA, being the league leader, not being the traditional league leader type of guy, a power guy, but being a finesse guy that it's going to cut it, it's going to sink it, has the real slow curveball like Mike Messina. It's going to live on the edges, and what you can't do is you can't get impatient on him. you got to understand that he's probably not going to blow the ball by you. So you be patient on him and look for a pitch to hit. But obviously, he's been really good at what he's done this year.
Do you learn any more about a guy like that when you share an all-star experience as you just did?
Interesting enough, he was battling the flu, so I tried to keep my distance. And even when I went to shake his hand after the game, during the game, I just kind of was real, because I've been through the flu this year, and I don't want to have it again. I know he was really sick on Tuesday, to where there was questions whether he could pitch. Lincecum went home, I believe, but I didn't have a chance to talk to him too much. I caught K-Rod a few pitches, and that was when I realized that the ball got there quicker than I remember. The first one he threw me, I was like, wow.
Did he pump his fist after that?
No, but then he started throwing the breaking balls, and it kind of slowed it down a little bit, so I was all right with that. And I knew if he bounced one, I could jump out of the way.
You have a specific decision you think on Matsui tomorrow, whether it's going to
I don't know if we'll have it tomorrow by game time, but I would imagine by Tuesday we would have something. Yes.
The way you're feeling right now, would it be a surprise to you if it's anything other than a recommendation for surgery?
Well, obviously he's had a few setbacks here, and I'm the optimist guy, and you keep your fingers crossed, but I'm not expecting to get him back within a week or 2 weeks. So I'm not sure what Dr. Rodeo is going to say, but the news so far has not been encouraging, what he's went through the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Will tomorrow be like the full MRI and all that kind of stuff?
I'm not sure what Dr. Rodeo will do. Obviously he'll perform the test that he feels he needs to perform.